Hi everybody, these are instructions for filling out your lab report for your falling objects lab. Your lab report will take the form of this slide deck. Step 1 was the planning section. This step you've already done. It's in your notebook. For instance, the independent variable, the variable you're going to change, goes right here. We wrote this down in your notebook. It's also right there. Your dependent variable, what you're measuring to get your results, goes right here. You wrote that down in your notebook. Finally, your control variables. We wrote that down in class together too. You can take those notes from your notebook and put them straight here. Think about what you actually did in your experiment as well. Likewise, your hypothesis. That goes here. You wrote one in your notebook and it goes right here. Next is your data. This is your data table. Your 3 columns for bag A, bag B, and bag C. Each of your levels, each of your trials, that is, goes right here. You already collected this. You can copy and paste from Google Sheets. You can paste a photo from your notebook, or you can type your data in each of these boxes. But this slide is all things that you've already done that you just need to complete. Make sure you complete the entire slide to earn credit. This next 2 slides are for graphs and interpretation of your data. There are 2 of these slides, but you only need to fill out one of them. You can delete the one you don't use. That's right. Even though there are 2 graphs and interpretation slides, you only need to use one of them. This slide is set up so that you can paste a photograph of a graph from your notebook, or so that you can paste the graphs directly from Google Sheets onto your slide deck. Make sure that you fill in your claim to get full credit. You've already written your claim in your notebook and when you collected your data, so really it's a matter of identifying your claim and putting it in the slide deck so it's all in one easy package. As promised, this is the second slide that's all about graphs. If you don't use this slide, you don't have to keep it. If you want to use this slide, here's how it works. Your levels, bag A, bag B, bag C, go across the bottom here. The values go across the side. You have to type the numbers in that go in these spaces. These are all cells that are part of the same table, and you can type numbers in. I like to include a range of 10, and I like to make sure that my bars fall in the middle of that range. So I look at my smallest number and my highest number, and I go a little bit below my smallest number, like maybe 3 or 4 units below my smallest, and about 2 units above my highest, so that my bars will all land somewhere in this range. And it makes it easy to interpret. You can use the paint bucket tool or the shape tool to fill in the bars over here. You can draw a shape in Google Slides, or you can just fill in each of these slots in order to get a nice bar graph. The thing that people often forget is to put your units over here. So how many tenths of a second each of these lines represent, and you put the decimal and the number and the letter S. So for example, I might start with 0.41 seconds, and then I would have 0.42, 0.43 seconds, 0.44 seconds, and so on. Except in Google Slides, you can type this, 0.48 and 0.49. And then I would use this if I knew that my highest value was below 0.49 and my lowest was above 0.41. As always, you want to write your claim. And just to reiterate, if you don't use this slide, you can delete it. This slide is the most important slide in your report. This is the only slide that doesn't come directly out of your notebook, that you're going to have to synthesize and pull things together. It starts with the guiding question. Your claim answers the guiding question. You've already practiced writing your claim when you interpreted your data, and you can use the same interpretation from the previous slides that had your graphs on them to answer the guiding question. Evidence is kind of tricky. A lot of times people put a small version of their graph and then write an explanation of that graph. You might show the graph and then say, the smallest value on my graph is 0.49 seconds. And the largest value on my graph was 0.51 seconds. And that's all it is. Lay out the facts. You explain your evidence over here in the justification. The range from 0.49 to 0.51 is so small that it supports my claim that there is no noticeable difference between bags of different masses. That's a justification. That explains why your data is relevant and why it supports the claim. Your explanation goes into more detail, and you can use your notes from class discussions about force and mass, acceleration and gravity, and explain how your answer to the question fits with what you know. Maybe if your results are different than what you expected, explain why that happened. This is where you get to talk more about the experiment and where you get to show what you know. As always, if you have questions while you're working, you can put them in the comments in the Google assignment, and I will get back to you just as soon as I can. Have fun. Bye-bye.